Okay, cameraman, come in, please. All right, guys, come in, please. Thank you. Everybody captured? Good. Good morning, my name is Matthew Rodrigue, and this is an informative speech for my Introduction to Communication class at Lone Star College with Professor Jenkins. As many of us like to do on our leisure time, enjoy our time out with our family and friends. We enjoy going to restaurants or simply enjoying a meal at home with a great meal and a good bottle of wine. But did you know that you can actually enhance the flavor of your meal and your overall food enjoyment by pairing a specific type of wine to the meal you're having? There are many choices in the United States for different types of wine to enjoy. There are vineyards all across the country producing a wide variety that will fit just about everybody's taste and budget as well. So now it's important to know that by enjoying these types of wines, it's not just reserved for those who can afford to spend $100 on a bottle of wine at dinner, but they can be enjoyed any day of the week, or maybe just because it's Monday night and you want a glass of wine. Today I'm going to cover the different types of wine you'll find out there and some of their characteristics. I'm going to go over some expert recommendations for tips on pairing bottles of wine with your meal. And then I'm going to give you some specific examples of wine and food pairing combos for you to try out the next time you enjoy a meal. But first, I've placed on the desk in front of you a chart that I've got off of winefolly.com, and this is an illustration that basically shows the different types of popular foods that are out there and some of their recommendations. Feel free to look at it at your leisure when we're done here today. Now I'm going to go over some of the types of wines that you'll see and you'll find when you're out at your local restaurants. According to Jameson Fink in his 2015 article from winecollective.com, the most popular wines in the United States. He lists them by using numbers from the Wine Institute and Nielsen ratings to list the top 5 wines that are out there. Number 1 is going to be Chardonnay. Chardonnay is going to take in about 20% of the overall market share of all take-home wine sales in this country. That's followed by Cabernet Sauvignon with 13%, and then respectively by Merlot, Red Blends, and Pinot Grigio, each capturing about 9% of the market share. First off, let me talk about number 1, Chardonnay. That's going to be a white wine. It's going to be very smooth and full-bodied. They're going to have different tones from different fruits, such as lemon, melons. You could even have hints of grasses and vanilla in there as well. Cabernet number 2 is a full-bodied red wine. It's going to have flavors mixing of dark fruits and sometimes pepper as well. Merlot, that's another one on the list. That's actually my favorite red wine. I prefer it over Cabernet Sauvignon. Merlot is going to have easy tannins, and tannins are the chemicals within grapes that add to the bitterness and give it a drying effect. This is going to have fruit and vegetable flavors throughout the wine. Pinot Grigio, the last one I'm going to talk about, is a white wine. And this was actually the first wine I was introduced to over 20 years ago, and I still really enjoy it today. It's a light, crisp wine, and according to Madeline Puckett in her 2013 article from winefolly.com, you'll see flavor spectrums ranging from lime all the way to white nectarine when enjoying the Pinot Grigio. So I've covered some of the types of wines that are out there and their characteristics. Now I want to give you some tips for pairing up these wines with different foods you will enjoy. According to Ray Isle in his 2015 article from foodandwine.com, 7 Rules for Perfect Pairing, he gave us a few tips, and I'm going to share a couple of them with you today. First off, let's use an unoaked white wine with anything you can squeeze a lemon or a lime into. By aging the wine in metal casks, they're going to give the wine a citrus acidity, and it will complement that food nicely. Secondly, try using a low alcohol wine with spicy food. The alcohol in the wine actually accentuate the oils that cause food to be spicy, and by using a low alcohol wine, you'll counteract that spiciness and really add to the flavor of your meal. Lastly, when enjoying red meat, you want to use a red wine with easy tannins. These easy tannins are going to give the wine structure and complement the fullness of the red meat. So, it's really interesting because until you start thinking about that, you really don't understand how some of these wines pair up with the different foods out there. So now I've covered the types of wines and their characteristics. I've given you a few basic tips on how to pair them up. But now I'd like to give you some specific food and wine combos for you to try the next time you're out. Well, us being in Texas, there's nothing more Texas than a good hearty beef steak. So next time you're enjoying your favorite ribeye or T-bone, try going with a full-bodied Cabernet Sauvignon. The Cabernet is going to be complex and it's going to stand up to the structure of the meat well. Personally, my favorite is pizza. Pizzas tend to be on the spicy side, so depending upon your toppings, whether you're going with a spicy pepperoni and sausage or maybe a vegetable pairing, you're going to go with a different type of wine to complement those types. So next time you're enjoying pizza, go with either a Riesling or a Syrah. They are red and white wines respectively, and match them up to the type of pizza that you're enjoying for that night. Lastly, in this area that we're in, nothing beats a good Tex-Mex meal. Well, depending upon the dish is going to depend upon the wine. So experts have said, so when you're trying tacos or chalupas, go with a nice dry rosé or lambrusco. And if you're enjoying a sizzling plate of chicken fajitas, try an oak Chardonnay or Pinot Grigio that will really enhance the flavor and bring out the enjoyment of that meal. So, I've covered some of the types of wines that are out there and their characteristics. I've gone over some basic tips for pairing those wines, and I've given you some specific combos for you to try the next time you're out. The next time that you're at your favorite restaurant or you're at home enjoying your meal, please remember some of these tips and see if they can help you enjoy your meal. And I'd like to leave you with a quote from founding father Benjamin Franklin, who said that wine is proof that God loves us and He loves to see us happy. Enjoy. Now that concludes my speech. I'd like to open it up for some question and answers here at the end of my speech, and I would be willing to take any questions you have. Jason?
How should particular wines be served?
Depending on the type of wine, you can go with, most reds are usually served at a red temperature or with a slightly chilled. White wines are going to be served normally chilled, not quite frozen, but you do want a good chill on a white wine or a lighter pink wine as well. Yes?
Do restaurants have people to help with picking out wine with dinner?
Oftentimes, yes, they do. They're actually called sommeliers, and at your finer restaurants, more your high-end restaurants, they're going to have people that's their sole job is to pair wines with different food that they serve. But at pretty much any restaurant, if you've got a good wait staff, they're going to be able to recommend some popular wines with their dishes that you can enjoy.
What are some good local locations for me to purchase wine?
Being in the Houston area, Specs is a very prominent liquor store that we have. They also have wine experts that will help you out, prep your wine and pair it with the meal that you're going to be serving to your friends and family. Also, HEB is another really great location for buying wine in our area. They will often give you grade scales on how particular wines grade and how they are viewed by experts and medals they've won and stuff like that. Okay, at this time, I appreciate y'all being here, and this concludes my speech. Thank you.
We went over.